It may not be very fair to compare apples with oranges, but here we have the Micromax Canvas Turbo next to a Samsung Galaxy S4. Both are the flagship phones from the respective brands and they offer many similarities as well as differences. They are top of the line phones in their respective category. In the band, the price of a Turbo is around 19,000 rupees, whereas the price of a Galaxy S4 is around 40,000 rupees. So they are nowhere comparable when it comes to price. There is huge difference. There is also huge difference in terms of performance as well as features they have on the offer. But anyways, we got a lot of requests to compare these two. So here we are with a comparison video. In this video, we'll compare the display build quality, benchmarks, graphics performance, overall performance, as well as video audio playback and what all special features you get on these two phones. Let's get started. Starting with the physical form factor and build quality, the Samsung Galaxy S4 on the right has a glossy back, which is a removable plastic material back, and the Micromax Canvas Turbo is finished in metallic. This is aluminium with powdered finish and looks good and premium. Both look very smart, with Samsung Galaxy S4 being richer when it comes to looks. Moving to the side, you will see that the Samsung Galaxy S4 is slimmer at 7.9mm compared to the Micromax Canvas Turbo, which is at 8.6mm. Not a major difference though. In terms of design, they are also very different. The Samsung signature style physical home button at the middle, whereas the Micromax has the typical touch capacitive buttons at the bottom. They both have 5-inch display at the front, and these display are full high definition 1080p display with a pixel density of 441 pixels per inches, and you can see they come very close to each other in terms of the display resolution as well as clarity. But the Super AMOLED display gives much richer viewing angles. As you can see, from very steep angles you can see the display, whereas comparing it with the IPS LCD of the Micromax, it tends to get slightly dull or the colors start changing when you tilt it too much. But on an overall respective comparison, there is not much of a difference to naked eyes that you can see between these two phones. In terms of overall dimensions, the Samsung Galaxy S4 is smaller in length, smaller in width, as well as smaller in height. So as you can see, it is smaller in every dimension. It is also lighter in weight, whereas the Micromax Canvas Turbo feels slightly heavier. On the front, they get front-facing cameras. The one on the Micromax Canvas Turbo is a 5-megapixel unit, whereas the one on the Samsung Galaxy S4 is a 2-megapixel camera that you get on the front. They offer various sensors, etc. The Micromax Canvas Turbo comes with basic sensors which include gyro sensor, the acceleration sensor and the proximity sensor, whereas the Samsung Galaxy S4 offers a lot more sensors, including the barometer, temperature sensor, humidity sensors, etc., in addition to what the Canvas Turbo has on the offer. Coming to the performance and touchscreen experience, both offer good touchscreen response and they give good quality of user experience when it comes to the usability factor. The Samsung Galaxy S4 comes with the TouchWiz UI, which is a custom UI developed by Samsung, which comes on most Samsung phones, whereas the Micromax Canvas Turbo comes almost vanilla Android with certain level of customization which are mostly graphical only. One major difference in the hardware capabilities is the infrared blaster, this black dot you observe on the Samsung Galaxy S4. This actually enables the Samsung Galaxy S4 to be used as an infrared remote. This phone offers a watch on application which can control televisions, home theater system and other multimedia systems using the phone as a multifunctional universal remote application, which you don't find on the Micromax Canvas Turbo, as there is no infrared blaster or there is no support. Talking of the gesture features, interestingly, both of these phones offer gesture features. The Micromax Canvas Turbo offers basic gesture features. We have done a detailed video on the same. Find the link in the description below. Whereas the Samsung Galaxy S4 is much more advanced when it comes to gestures. It supports hand gestures when you wave your hand. It supports air view gestures. It supports gestures when you flip the phone. So there are a lot more support when it comes to the Samsung Galaxy S4. Talking about the camera capabilities of these two phones, the Samsung Galaxy S4 is much more advanced with a lot of modes and features at your disposal. You just click on this mode button and you can take variety of pictures in different burst modes: burst shot, sound and shot mode, drama shot, animation, rich tone, HDR, object removal, panorama, sport shot, etc. So you get a slew of options. It records high definition videos at 30 frames per second in very good quality. Let me quickly click a picture and give you. So this is a sample picture we have just taken of the object which is placed right here, and as you can see, the picture comes out to be fairly clean and neat. There is no problem when it comes to the camera. And let's click the same picture with the Micromax Canvas Turbo as well. and again the picture comes out to be very sharp and clean. The rear camera does a good job on the Micromax Canvas Turbo as well, but there is a major difference when it comes to the mode capabilities that you get on the Samsung Galaxy S4. There are few modes which are available, like the 3D panorama, remove object mode, etc., which you find on Canvas Turbo. But in terms of overall features that you get inside the camera applications, the Samsung Galaxy S4 is much more advanced compared to a Micromax Canvas Turbo. Giving you a benchmark and spec comparison, as you can see, there is considerable difference in the performance figures of these two phones. The Exynos octa-core processor loaded Samsung Galaxy S4 gives you a performance number of 24,687 on Antutu, whereas the Micromax Canvas Turbo is scored somewhere close to 15,000, which is a considerable difference. The 1.5 GHz quad-core unit loaded on the Micromax Canvas Turbo delivers good overall performance, but the Exynos octa-core chipset, which includes a 1.6 GHz quad-core and a 1.2 GHz quad-core on the Samsung Galaxy S4, performs better when it comes to the benchmarks. As well as in terms of graphics and gaming, we see there is a lot of difference. We ran benchmarks using the Nina Mark II, and there is a considerable difference between the output of these two. Let me show you the same. The Samsung Galaxy S4 gives us a score of around 59.9 frames per second or 30 frames per second, whereas the Micromax Canvas Turbo comes at 34 frames per second. This is a considerable difference when it comes to graphics. For gaming performance, this will make a lot of difference. So if you are looking for a phone for gaming, the Micromax Canvas Turbo is far behind the Samsung Galaxy S4 when it comes to overall graphics performance. To give you a comparison of the audio quality on both of these phones, let me play the same track with the volume set to maximum, and you can compare the sound quality on both of them. So first I'm playing on the Micromax Canvas Turbo. The speaker is at the bottom, so it gets muffled when I put it like this, but like this it is fairly loud. Let me try the same on the Samsung Galaxy S4. So the speaker is clearly more loud as well as more clear on the Samsung Galaxy S4 compared to a Micromax Canvas Turbo. To give you a comparison of the video playback quality on the Micromax Canvas Turbo as well as Samsung Galaxy S4, I have played the same video side by side. So the one on top is Canvas Turbo and the one on bottom is the Samsung Galaxy S4. Let me just play the same and you can see for yourself how is the video quality on these phones.
From Intellect, today I'm going to give you tips and tricks of the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. This is an incredibly powerful device which has
There is slight improvement in the saturation and color levels of the AMOLED display compared to the display of the Micromax Canvas Turbo, which seems to be slightly washed out from straight angles, but viewing angles on the Samsung Galaxy S4 are soothing and comfortable to eyes even from a straight as well as tilted angles. When it comes to battery life, the Samsung Galaxy S4 has a user removable 2600 mAh battery which is under the back flap, whereas the Micromax Canvas Turbo has 2000 mAh battery which is concealed within the phone and cannot be removed by the user. In actual terms, the battery on Samsung Galaxy S4 drains very fast because of the high performance of this phone, whereas the battery on the Micromax Canvas Turbo does a good job. It gives you almost comparable battery life that you get on the Samsung Galaxy S4. Also, one major difference in the Samsung Galaxy S4 and Micromax Canvas Turbo is the Samsung Galaxy S4 is a single SIM device, whereas the Canvas Turbo is a dual SIM, and you can see these two SIM trays on the side of the Micromax Canvas Turbo where you can put the SIM cards. One more major difference is that there is no expandable memory on the Micromax Canvas Turbo. It has 16 GB internal memory, which is a fixed memory, out of which around 12 GB is available to the user. On the other side, the Samsung Galaxy S4 gives 16 GB internal memory. It also comes in higher memory variant. Plus, there is a micro SD card slot in which you can add a memory card of up to 64 GB to additionally expand the memory of the Samsung Galaxy S4. Apart from the hardware features, the Samsung Galaxy S4 also offers many special bundled softwares, like you get some extra Dropbox storage of around 50 GB with the Samsung Galaxy S4. You also get Samsung's suite of applications like the S Health, S Memo. There's a pedometer which can actually measure your workout schedule, which can measure actually how many steps you are walking. So a lot of functionalities come loaded onto the Samsung Galaxy S4, which are additional when compared to Micromax Canvas Turbo. Summarizing our comparison of the Micromax Canvas Turbo with Samsung Galaxy S4, there are major differences between these two devices, but if you are not into gaming, you don't need very high graphic intensive applications or very high performance applications. A Micromax Canvas Turbo may just fit your needs. If you are just into viewing videos, watching movies, listening to music, the Micromax Canvas Turbo will be good enough for you. But if you are into high definition gaming, high performance applications, and you want something sleek, stylish and feature loaded with an infrared blaster, the application suite that you get, so the S4 is much premium offering and will cost almost twice compared to a Micromax Canvas Turbo. So it is up to you whether you want an affordable solution which can do just about the basic things in a good way, or you want a high performance smartphone which can do any sort of gaming and play anything which you throw at it. This is all we have on a detailed comparison between the Micromax Canvas Turbo and Samsung Galaxy S4. We hope you like our video. Please don't forget to press the thumbs up button below to give us a like. If you want to receive more informative videos from us, don't forget to press the subscribe button. This is your host Rohit Khurana signing off. Thanks for watching.